It's been a while. It's taking some time, but Kash Patel is finally getting his way, or sort of. He's not quite turning the FBI headquarters into a museum yet, but Mr. Patel has finalized the plans to close the FBI's J. Edgar Hoover Building in D.C. And of course, according to reporting, sources at the moment, but they cite internal federal planning documents and administrative officials. The decision would end decades of use of the Brutalist-era headquarters on Pennsylvania Avenue and begin a phased transition of FBI operations out of said building. Now, officials say that the move is framed for safety, for cost, and modernization decisions rather than immediate dismantling of the Bureau itself. Kash Patel's big words on turning this thing into a museum and sending folks out to the field. Hyperbole, yes, but there actually was some actual merit to the statement, or to the process of the statement, if you will. Let's do some history of the J. Edgar Hoover Building, named for a very, let's just say, controversial figure, opened in the early 70s and been criticized for years as structurally outdated, even when built, expensive to maintain, and ill-suited for modern intelligence and law enforcement work, which sort of tells you the meaning, a double meaning behind the naming of the building. Now, government audits have cited aging infrastructure, security limitations, and high renovation costs to this building, and previous administrators have basically studied replacement options, including some suburban campuses elsewhere. But they failed to settle on a final path. Patel, stage one, saying we're shutting this bad boy down, had a plan, and this plan that he has that's basically more or less finalized now is moving beyond the study and commits to closure, signaling the break from years of indecision on the building. Now, under this plan, core FBI functions would be relocated and dispersed. Some units moving to existing federal facilities, so they're already working out there, others potentially shifting outside of the District of Columbia. The administration argues that decentralization operations could actually reduce the costs, improve security, and make better matches for the Bureau's nationwide missions. But, of course, there are critics, and they counter that breaking up the headquarters risks the coordination problems and could actually complicate some oversight. Having everybody in the same place helps things get done better, they say. The FBI has not been announcing anything going forward, and they don't have a single replacement headquarters site listed yet. As I said, this is mostly sources, slow news weekend if you will, but as it looks like, Kash Patel is getting his way and moving people out of this building here. The reaction has been sharply divided. There are supporters for getting this thing done, and they say that closing the Hoover Building is overdue and aligns with broader efforts to reform federal agencies and cut waste, like the Doge thing. However, there are opponents, people who, oddly enough, not so much love the FBI or love the building, but have to be opponents. These are mostly Democrats who are opposing the administration and some former agents of the FBI who, I guess, love the place. They warn that the move could be perceived as political retaliation against the Bureau amid ongoing tensions between the administration and the federal law enforcement. Trump's not a big fan of the FBI. Patel's not a big fan of FBI. The current deputy, Bongino, not a big fan of FBI. So maybe they're just trying to shut it down, and this is what it looks like. They argue that the symbolism matters in this issue, and shutting down the iconic headquarters in the nation's capital sends a powerful message about the administration's relationship with the institution. That message is the administration not so thrilled with it. But here's the thing. Unlike Doge, who just basically shut down buildings and leaving them to be wasted, this federal headquarters is going to be a multi-year process to close it down. Congress may shift weight in the thought process through appropriations, and the labor and security and logistics hurdles will remain on what to do with the people and the locations there. So the fate of the building itself, do you tear it down? Do you develop it into something else? Do you sell it outright? Do you use it to house a Spirit of Halloween store in the wintertime? That's not been finalized as of yet. Until those steps are complete, Hoover Building will remain the partially occupied transition to unfold on wherever things will go. Even if they move the people out of there, they still have to operate the building. Now, let's start with the pros. The pro-Patel sort of plan with this one thing. The plan addresses real safety concerns, real cost concerns. Apparently the building's not a great place to work. and it ends decades of maintenance headaches and modernizes to whoever and however the FBI wants to operate. Decentralizing the operations could actually improve resilience and reduce on reliance on single high-profile targets in Washington. That sounds great. Remember, for any opposite opposing theory, there's another opposite opposing theory. That got lost in the wash, but you get the point. The critics warned the move is risking politicizing law enforcement, weakening the interagency coordination, and diminishing the FBI's presence in the Capitol. They also note that uncertainty and expense of relocation is going to cost some money to move these people someplace, could disrupt operations and morale before any long-term savings are actually realized. So what do you think about this one? Kash is ruling everything around here in getting this thing done. He said he was going to shut it down and make a museum. It's not quite there yet, but he looks like he has a plan to make this thing work. Do you think it will work? Do you think it'll actually work? Comments away.